Okay, so in this lecture, we are going to address one of the core concept of the UX design, which is information architecture. Okay, so till now what we have seen is how do we set the goals for our website, and from there how do we define the personas and understand our users, right? So now we need to, those concepts are also closely related to what a UX designer would do, but then this information architecture is one of the core concept of the UX design. Okay, so what does it mean? Like, how does the information flow in particular website? Like, for example, if someone logs into your website, what is the first screen he should see, and from there where does he need to go, how should he navigate through your website? So all these things we need to plan through, right? And accordingly we need to create an information architecture. So for creating an information architecture, we need to understand what is this UX value loop. Okay, so then we can construct this information architecture in a better way. So that's what we are going to see in this lecture. Okay, so what is this UX value loop? Okay, so your user is logging into your website with a need. Okay, so let us suppose you are pitching about one technology. Okay, you are saying use this technology for creating your website, and by that you can increase your or double your revenue. This is your pitch. Or else you say 5 ways you can increase your revenue by investing in these technologies, right? So if that is your headline, okay, that headline, someone is searching what are the ways to improve my business in your particular industry vertical, and your page is ranked in Google as number 1 or number 2 or number 3. Most likely user will click on that particular page and land on your website, right? Once he clicks on the link in the Google, he lands upon your website. Okay, so that is the user need. What has he searched for? Okay, so that is his need. Okay, so now the need part is done. If your website came in the first page of Google ranking, so till that point we are satisfied. Okay, so then once he comes, he will not even stay for 20 seconds on your page. So within that 20 seconds, how are you providing assurance to your user that his need will be addressed here? So he has just seen the title and he has clicked on your page, and he is now on your website. Now within 20 seconds, you need to put some content on your page which gives the confirmation to the user that what he is looking for is there on your page. Then he will try to scroll and read through the content. Otherwise, he'll just close the website and go to a different website, right? So how are we providing the confirmation to that particular user? Okay, so then once the confirmation is reached, what is the action he needs to take? Right, maybe the action could be like he might want to read more about the article. That could be the action. Or he might want to you might want him to fill certain details so that you can contact him. That could be one action. So what is the next action he needs to take? Okay, so this I have told from blogging perspective, but then let's talk about our buying of a product of service perspective, right? In a B2C case, let us suppose we are running a hotel, okay, and someone is logging in to do a hotel booking. So what will be the process? He will search in the Google what are the budget hotels, right? And he is searching for the budget hotels, and your website has ranked in the number 1 page. So now he is logging on to your page, right? So now you need to give somehow a confirmation to your user that your hotel is a budget hotel. That's the first confirmation you need to get, right? Because that is what he has searched for in Google. Okay, so once he gets that confirmation, what is the next step he needs to take, right? The immediate next step would be to check whether if any hotel room is available at a particular date, at a particular time or not, right? So that call to action button also should be there. In the very first page, he should have that action button so that he can immediately search. right? Once he searches, what is the next action he might want to take? So you need to think through all these things. Like first, he is coming onto this page, then what is the need with which he came onto this page? How am I giving confirmation that his need will be satisfied? And once his need is satisfied, what is the immediate action he needs to take so that he stays on our website? He will not close and go away, right? The aim is to keep him engaged on your website so that you push user from awareness stage to the lead stage, and from lead stage to the customer stage. So finally, your final aim is conversion. He needs to buy your product or service. That is the aim. So how are you pushing that user from one funnel stage to another funnel stage, step by step, using your content is the whole aim. And that is how you need to design your flow of the website. Okay, so to do that, you need to consider three things. So who is your user? That is one thing you need to consider, right? From which industry vertical he is coming in, and from which role he is for, and what is his demographic and age and other information, right? So that is all about user. Okay, and for that particular user, what is the product or service you are pitching, right? That is about product and service, right? And the third thing is to which in which stage that customer is. Like for example, if there is a customer, let us suppose we go back to this persona, right? We are targeting a person in manufacturing company, and let us suppose he is a business owner, right? He is a business owner from manufacturing company, and that is about the persona. But the need of that particular business owner, if he is in the awareness stage, he is just getting aware about your product, then the need might be different when compared to when he is actively looking for or comparing your product against another product. Okay, so let us suppose he is looking for to buy, let us suppose I'm a customer. I am trying to buy a product which is some soap, right? Then what is that I am looking for? So I am just looking for a soap which has a good fragrance. That could be one of the intent, right? Or else which could long last. That could be another intent, right? Based on that intent, he is getting aware about certain products. So if you are if the customer is getting aware about a particular product, then your content should be in a certain way. You should say that, okay, see, my soap has this particular fragrance and this particular size, so that it will last so much time. Your content will be like that, right? But if he is actively looking to buy your product, then he may not be looking only for your product, right? He might be comparing the X soap with Y soap, and see either this is better or that is better. So you are in consideration phase now, that that particular customer is seriously considering your product. At that time, the content which you are aiming to that particular user will differ, right? You must say why your product is better compared to that particular product or any other product. That particular content should come, right? So you need to consider in which stage of the funnel that particular user is, so that you put a relevant content to push him further. So if you are able to put a content as to why your product is better than other product, and if he is convinced, then what is the next step he need to take? He need to buy the product, right? He should become your customer, or at least he should ask, he should give out the details like a phone number or something to you, so that you will be able to contact him and explain more, right? So what is the next step? So that action also should be there on that particular page. So based on these three, you need to create a content taxonomy. So the child, the utmost lowermost content of your website, the web page, the lowermost, like if you think of your website as a tree, let us suppose there is a home page and you have the products, you have services, and you have about us, and then you have a blogging section, right? If you go into that, and if you go to the utmost lower level, right, at that lower level, you need to think about these three things and give a unique ID to that particular content, and you need to construct this entire tree. You need to categorize your content basically. Maybe you can categorize the content saying that this content I am targeting to the people who are in this particular funnel, and I am pitching about this particular product to this particular user who is in this particular domain, something like that. So like that, you need to create a content tree or an information architecture. Okay, then this information architecture will be read by the SEOs, okay, Google engines, so it can connect one page to another page. That is the aim. Okay, your Google engine should be able to connect one URL to another URL and see what is the relationship, and it should understand how to display, when to display, for which search items to display your page to the user. Okay, so that is how you need to plan basically your website. Okay, so that's what I wanted to cover in this lecture. Thank you.